This week on the Aviators, there's no better way to make an airplane your airplane than to change it up with aftermarket parts. We're taking a look at Deshannon's options for the Beechcraft Bonanza. I'm going to get into an aircraft that doesn't have an engine and hopefully come back safely. You'll even get to see me do a loop in an aircraft with no engine as I explore the world of soaring.
Aviators.
Not too long ago, we looked at the Republic Seabee, an aircraft that Republic Aviation thought would be the bird of choice for returning military aviators after World War II. While things didn't exactly work out that way for Republic, the Beechcraft Bonanza did become the aircraft of choice for returning pilots, and sales of the aircraft took off. The Bonanza is still being built today and has seen many changes over time. But there's still a lot of older Bonanzas that don't have some of the benefits of a factory new aircraft. And there's also a lot of optional extras that can be added to the already fantastic aircraft. That's where a company like Deshannon comes in.
We believe it's the best structure to start with. It's the greatest launching pad that we could find. And when Burl Deshannon started 50 years ago, Alan Peterson decided that he would go after that fleet and that fleet alone. And so he focused on it and he put all of his heart and soul into it. We're very grateful for his efforts. We're grateful for the things that he created, the things that he acquired and then modernized and upgraded. And now we're doing the same thing that he has done.
Scott Erickson is the owner of Deshannon Aviation. Widely known for their many generations of Bonanza tip tanks, Deshannon is focused on providing and researching aftermarket improvements to the Beechcraft fleet.
So when we say realize the potential of your Bonanza, we get excited because that's limitless. There are so many things that we have envisioned that we want to do down the road, and so we've started on a path to take one conversion at a time. And one of the main conversions we wanted for the A36 in particular, and the G36 and the A36TC, was a useful load increase. At the same time, we want to increase their horsepower and the lift that the wings create.
Now, as everyone knows, aviation is extremely regulated. In order to modify an aircraft and still be certified for flight, you need something called an STC, or a Supplemental Type Certificate. Deshannon has a smorgasbord of different STCs for the Bonanza and Baron, all designed to help pilots get more out of their aircraft. One of the interesting things about adding modifications to your aircraft is that a lot of the changes can be relatively small. These small changes can make a big difference in keeping your engine cool or even increasing your useful load.
One of the items that we provide is the louvers, the cooling louvers. They look like great white shark gills and they provide additional airflow inside the cabin. We also have our baffle cooling kit on this engine. And this set of vortex generators creates enough lift to justify the addition of 100 pounds of useful load.
Vortex generators can be found on all sorts of aircraft. I even put them on the 210. For the relatively low cost and the increased safety that comes from the increased control authority, VGs seem like an easy choice for most small aircraft. They're also a good example of how a small change can greatly affect how your airplane moves through the air. Deshannon's most well-known product is likely their line of tip tanks. Starting with the company's predecessor, Burl Deshannon, the company has produced both 15 and now 20-gallon tip tanks. While most aircraft carry fuel tanks in the wings, wingtip tanks have been incorporated into the design of several aircraft, including the T-33, and are a useful aftermarket modification that can add a lot of useful range.
This is a 15-gallon tip tank that was made by Burl Deshannon Aviation. And I have to tell you, we're excited because we get to modernize these. We get to put the new LED lights in here. And we are excited because now we produce a 20-gallon tank. And that 20-gallon tip tank is made with some different materials. It's made with different processes. And giving that extra 5 gallons per side is beneficial to many people, but we're really excited because it gives a useful load increase that's larger than what the previous company had.
You might assume that adding a great big tank on the end of your wing could add drag and slow you down. Well, it turns out that's not necessarily true.
In the Naval Academy, one of the professors has done a study there that showed that the tip tanks did not cause drag in comparison to the original wingtip. I should say the wingtip created the same amount of drag that the tip tanks created. What we've done is we've reduced the nose of the tank and we've elongated it. And in doing so, we've been able to have some great results.
By putting all of their small improvements together, DeShannon is able to make significant improvements to useful load, range, and climb performance. But in some cases, the practical improvements are not the reason pilots chose to make these modifications.
Well, you know, I'd have to say that some of these mods are installed purely because a client has seen his neighbor put the modification on. He knows that his neighbor is very well educated when it comes to his aircraft, so he thinks, well, if he's made that decision, I think I'll go with that decision. That is less common than someone who's really researched it and has decided that they need the extra useful load in the cabin. They might not even plan on utilizing the fuel that's in the tip tank, but they'll put the weight in the cabin, and at some later date, they might have a blend of fuel and cabin load. But a lot of people like to put that inside the cabin.
Scott and DeShannon are not resting on their laurels. Currently, they're looking at reverse engineering existing parts of the Bonanza and seeing how they can make them stronger and lighter while improving their form and function.
This gear door is representation of where aviation is going. Aviation is going towards the new materials, the new technologies, the new processes. So this carbon fiber gear door replaces the existing gear door. It's lighter, it's stronger, it's adjustable, where the current door is not. And so all those things play into our decision-making process to draw and take parts off of the aircraft and reverse engineer them, create them with a different material and an alteration to the original design.
But in the end, everything is to try and improve the experience of their customers, the pilots of the Beechcraft fleet.
We love it. We absolutely love it. We love the people that are flying with us. We love what they do in their personal lives. They're very gracious and generous, and in their business lives, they're excellent business people. They run major corporations. We have a lot of military people who are over in Afghanistan even right now that we speak to, and they get a break. They call us and they tell us that they're going to be coming home in a few months, and we try to work with them and give them a good price on their upgrades so that we can show them our appreciation for their efforts representing our country.
Hi, I'm Rob Ryder. Before flying, a pilot can get weather information from a number of sources. Flight Service, contracted by the FAA, has been the traditional source and is available via telephone or the internet. Additional internet sources and smartphone or tablet apps have replaced this traditional source for many pilots. Once in the air, satellite and ADSB sources can provide weather updates, as can a radio call to Flight Service or a Flight Watch station.
We've covered a lot of very different aircraft on this show, from fixed-wing to helicopters, balloons to airships, big to small. But all of these aircraft have generally had something in common. They've all had some sort of power plant. Whether an engine, or as in a balloon, a propane burner, there's always been something on board the aircraft that makes it move. Until today. Today, I'm going to experience flying without any sort of power plant at all, as I take to the air with the experienced folks at York Soaring. To introduce me to the sport of soaring, I'll be flying with Charles Peterson, an experienced glider pilot and instructor at York Soaring. Okay, Charles, so I fly a Cessna 210, which is a powered aircraft, so you'd refer to me as a power pilot?
Yeah, power pilot.
And as a glider pilot, is that the proper term? What do you call someone who flies gliders?
Yeah, we call them gliders or sailplanes, and we also call it soaring. Because technically gliders were those troop transports they had in World War II, a howitzer, a jeep, 12 guys flew into the ground. These are sailplanes, meaning they can sustain flight using convective energy in the atmosphere or various forms of lift. Your airplane's powered with a reciprocating engine or others with a turbine. We use gravity. No moving parts, never failed yet. And so our engine is gravity, and our altitude is our fuel. And if you want a good analogy, I always find it's very easy to understand it as a bicycle with no pedals. We go forward by going downhill. So when we get into this and we start, it's the same 3-axis controls, ailerons, elevator, rudder, for roll, pitch, and yaw. And we will adjust the pitch to adjust the speed. A given attitude will yield a given speed.
This all sounds very interesting, and much of what Charles is saying sounds familiar. Looking at the sailplane itself, all of the parts are there. There's wings, a rudder, a horizontal stabilizer, and elevators. Even the cockpit looks like something I'm used to. But there's no propeller strapped to the front, and I don't see a jet exhaust nozzle in the back. And while this glider is apparently built by one of the oldest glider manufacturers in the world, I've certainly never heard of them. This is a Schleicher ASK-21. On top of that, it keeps tipping over on the ground. How am I supposed to fly something that can't even stand up straight? There's gear in the center on the fuselage.
And a tail wheel and a nose wheel, but
there's no gear in the wings. And I notice, obviously, when one wing is up, the other one is down. How does that affect you when you're going down the runway?
We will have a wing runner balance one of the wings for us as we take off. And then when we land, we'll come to a stop, and then the wing will drop.
Now, part of the reason the sailplane is tipping over is that the wings are very long, around 55 feet. That's 19 feet longer than my Cessna 210. But these wings are also much thinner. The reason being that gliders achieve much lower induced drag by having a higher ratio of wing length to wing width. You'll often hear gliders discussed in terms of glide ratio. This is the rate at which an aircraft moves forward compared to the rate it moves downward. This sailplane has a glide ratio of roughly 33:1, meaning for every foot we descend, we can theoretically move forward 33 feet. But enough theory. With the walk-around complete, it seems Charles is ready to go flying. So it looks like we're in good shape. You're good to go?
I'm good to go. Are you good to go?
Well, I'm trying to gear myself up here to go flying without an engine. It sounds kind of crazy.
No moving bits to break.
That's a good way to put it.
Gravity has yet to have its first failure. And the time between overhauls on gravity? Infinite.
Oh, you're good. Let's do it. Let's go. Getting settled in the cockpit, there are a couple of things about this experience that are immediately different. For one, there's no need for either of us to wear the usual noise-canceling headset, as I'm being told it'll be very quiet up there, which is just another reminder that there's no engine.
Give the thumb up to Manfred. Manfred's going to raise the wing. He's looked behind and said we're all clear above and behind. Now he's going to do take up slack to signal, waving his arm back and forth for the tow pilot.
The initial thrust to get us off the ground will be provided by a Piper Pawnee via a tow rope. Okay, I see the rope being pulled.
All right.
There's
We've
got some movement. Here we go. See you, Manfred. Okay, so we're bouncing along the grass here, and I think we're airborne. The glider actually manages to get airborne before the tow plane, as the glider has a much lower takeoff speed.
We're going to stay low behind the tow plane. As I said, I don't want to upset the tow plane. Okay, now the first thing challenge you're going to try here is flying the tow. The mantra is wings, wheels, wings, wheels. I want the wings parallel with the tow plane. If I bank tighter than the tow plane, you'll see I slide off to that side.
Right.
Okay, so would you like to try this?
Yeah, you stay close.
I'll stay close. You have control.
I have control.
Wings, wheels, keep them parallel.
Oh, there we go. I got that buffeting going.
I have control.
You have control.
And it's very frustrating.
Wow, that was...
Tried to learn to fly.
That was really difficult. My flight experience did not come in useful at all, not in the least. It seems letting Charles take us up to the release altitude of 3,000 feet would probably be the best bet.
Okay, if you want to pull that yellow knob now with your left hand.
Okay, I'm going to pull it. Ready?
Yep.
Away we go. And with that, we are no longer flying under any form of power at all. And there goes the aircraft, and we're going the other way. Simply soaring along, our slow descent toward the Earth provides the forward thrust that, for me, would usually come from an engine. To get used to the sailplane's controls and to hone up on my ability to compensate for adverse yaw, Charles has me go through a number of 30-degree turns. And while doing this, he feels something that only a glider pilot would notice. Oh, and then I lost it.
It felt like we had a little bubble, little bit of lift.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we're hard-pressed to get it when there's this much high cloud.
I did feel a little bit of a speed bump, but that's lift for you.
Yep, that's lift for me.
So you would ride that. What is soaring as opposed to, say, gliding?
Soaring is sustained flight. Sustained by utilizing lift. Lift is what we characterize any body of rising air that's going up faster than we're coming down. So I've been in Lee Mountain wave lift where I've been going up 2,000 feet a minute. Very powerful. And, I've been over 30,000 feet right over Lake Tahoe in Lee Mountain wave lift.
Using these sources of lift, glider pilots can go great distances. In fact, on a good day, Charles can fly 250 to 300 miles using thermals and other sources of lift. But for my intro flight, we're certainly not going to be doing that. And as we're getting to 1,000 feet above ground level, we start to turn onto the downwind leg for landing. While some gliders do have them, this glider does not have flaps. And Charles was telling me earlier that flaps can have a different use in a glider. So instead of deploying the flaps or the gear to bleed off airspeed as I might in a powered aircraft, the sailplane uses spoilers. Okay.
And we're going to move it towards the center line and pull them out.
Oh, wow.
So there's the dive brake.
Big difference. Big difference.
Well, a little bit. You feel the turbulence. Keep your wings level.
I do. This is feeling a little like flying a powered aircraft. A little bit.
Yeah.
Charles let me fly more of this approach than I expected, but as we hit short final, he takes control.
Okay, now we got a crosswind from the left, so you're going to have to either crab or slip. We're drifting off to the right. You want to go more to the left. Keep your speed up.
Okay, my instincts are that we're not going to make the runway.
We're going to make the runway.
Now this is a field, so I'm not even really sure where the runway is.
Well, I'm going to take control right about here. I have control.
Okay, you have control. This is incredible. We are on the ground. Wow. And we tilted over, which feels odd.
How was that?
Charles, I have a whole new respect for glider pilots. You guys know how to fly. The one flight was incredible enough. But no sooner that I'm out of the glider, I find out that club member Manfred is going to be taking me up for an aerobatic glider flight. And as it turns out, Manfred is not just any regular glider pilot. Some of you may have seen Manfred Radius performing his aerobatic routine at air shows across the country. Not only does he fly aerobatics in a glider, but he does it at night with fire showering off his wingtips. So Manfred, I'm no longer a virgin to the world of soaring, but I'm still quite the novice. You, on the other hand, are, if you're not the foremost expert in glider aerobatics, you've got to be up there.
I've flown for a few years aerobatics, about 42.
Oh, goodness. But you're going to take me through some stuff now, and I'm a little uneasy here. So what are we going to do today?
Well, Anthony, this is your second flight in a glider ever.
Ever, yes.
Yes, you just had your first flight with Charles Peterson. And it's going to be your first aerobatic flight in a glider.
Well, let me correct you there. It'll be my first aerobatic flight ever. In anything.
In any aircraft. You're going to enjoy it.
While Manfred seems pretty confident about that, I'm not so sure. I've always considered anything more than a 30-degree turn to be aerobatics, and I'm not so sure about being upside down at all. But before I know it, we were back in the air and about to reach the moment of truth.
To right
couple
up
of
to
seconds.
altitude. Here comes the release.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to release now. We are at 5,000 feet.
We're on our own.
Turn right.
And it's not long after the release that Manfred is ready to start the aerobatics.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Now let's do a loop. I'm going to demonstrate a loop to you.
Oh my God.
I'm going to go again into a 45-degree dive and accelerate to 100 knots, and I pull back at 4G. Here we go. Here comes a dive. 45-degree dive, 100 knots, and here I pull. We are now on top of the loop, and we are coming around. And here we had a loop. And you know what? We had only 3¼ G. We did not even have 4G. And we're going to do the next one now. Yes, you can do it. Don't worry. You can do it. Okay, Anthony, you have control.
Okay.
Go into a 45-degree dive. Steeper, steeper, a little steeper. That's it. And I let you know when you pull. Not yet, not yet. Okay, pull now. Keep pulling, pull, more. Keep pulling. Not bad, we are on top now. Slightly slow on top, but not bad at all. And we are now, okay, pull back a little bit. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Now we have only about 3G, so you were gentle, which is good. You know, I prefer gentle over too rough. But you know what? You flew that loop all by yourself. Now, let me have control.
Now, to be totally honest, I'd be perfectly happy if that was the maximum extent of my aerobatic career. But Manfred would like to show me one more maneuver.
Let's do a roll. How about it, Anthony? The camera plane is to our left.
Sure, let's do a roll for the cameras. I love my viewers.
All right. All right. Bit of speed. We need more speed. Now we'll pull up. And we're rolling. We're going all the way around. Yeah? We are inverted. And we're almost finished with the roll. And we're finished with the roll. How was it? Huh?
That was good.
I love it. I love it.
And with that, I'm done.
I'm a bag of goo. Manfred was awesome. He was awesome. I did a loop. I'm done.
Anthony, I'm proud of you. You did very well. You know, you did that 45-degree dive and 45-degree climb very well, and then the loop, you flew it all by yourself. Not perfect. We were slightly slow on top, but it still was good. It was a loop.
I'm reliving it. I'm getting sick all over again.
Overall, I can tell you that as a somewhat skeptical power pilot, I've gained a massive amount of respect for the soaring community today. And I couldn't have met a nicer group of people than those in the soaring community. The best advice I can give anyone curious about soaring, whether you're a power pilot or not, is to take an intro flight at your local soaring club. But keep in mind, the aerobatic side is not for the faint of heart. Seasons 1 to 4 of The Aviators are now available on DVD and Blu-ray. For more information on today's segments, visit www.theaviators.tv. From our official home at the Whitman Regional Airport in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, we'll see you next week on The Aviators.